All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thems and theys. My name is John, and we're getting started with this Paint School podcast. I want to go through kind of just 5 topics of the day, something I kind of just was putting together just to kind of get things going. I'm going to run through them and then we'll expand on them. And then from there, just kind of, branch off in either direction. Okay, so 5 topics. Number 1, why do a podcast? Number 2, what gives me the right to do it? Number 3, why jump in now? Number 4, what do I know about painting? And number 5, what do I know about business? So we'll get in, why do a podcast? So the main reason is because it's easy. It's free. I have some time that I can put into it. I kind of feel like doing a podcast is a little bit arrogant, I suppose, thinking that all these people want to hear what you have to say. I don't really think that the information that I have is necessarily for the masses, but if I were starting a painting company now, I would want something like this to, I don't know if I would say guide me, but maybe steer me away from potential issues, maybe into better situations for myself. When I was starting out, there weren't really many options for being able to listen to something like this. YouTube wasn't a thing. So I think at this point for me, there's a lot of BS out there as far as running a business from someone that's in the middle of it, right? There were a lot of people who had really successful exits, got out, wrote a book about it, but they're on a different level, and obviously there are tons of very well-known books out there that are very helpful. But this will be my little piece of the equation, and maybe it'll help some of the other small companies out there. Number 2, what gives me the right to do it? I think nothing. I think it is kind of arrogant to take it on and feel like, oh yeah, I should have my own podcast. But it seems fun to me. And like I said, I think I can offer to help some people, maybe not everybody, but we've built a pretty good sized company and we're fairly profitable. So I know that some of the information I have will benefit some people. I don't know how large of an audience it will handle, but I know there's a fair amount that we can offer. Number 3, why jump in now? So this saying, the best time to start is a year ago, second best time is today. We're just giving it a go. So like I said, it's free, it's easy to do. Anybody could set one up. Why not? Why not jump in? I have some free time to kill. Seems like fun, so let's go for it. Number 4, what do I know about painting? So I've been in the painting business since I was 18, maybe 17 and a half, working for other companies. I worked for 4 or 5 other companies over about 3 or 4 years before I started doing side projects. So I'm almost 40 now, so I've 22, 23 years in the business. I have had my own business for about 17 of those years, maybe 18. So, we've been at it for a while. And I am not one of those guys where I'm just kind of cruising along and whatever happens, happens. I've constantly been trying to improve my company, constantly been trying to improve my skills. It's been a never-ending program for me, right? I mean, it's constant improvement, always, every day, learn from everyone. So my 20 years of experience is a lot different than other people's 20 years of experience. I read about it at nighttime. I watch videos on weekends. I've done everything for the last 20 years that I can to get better and to try to be the best at it. So with that dedicated introspection, figuring out why what I'm doing isn't working, where am I going wrong, I've just learned a lot. And I don't know everything, obviously. I don't think that I do. I know more than some people, and I'm getting to know enough to know what I don't know. Does that make sense? Um, but yeah, I mean, 22, 23 years of learning has taught me a few things. So in painting, we do interior, exterior work, we do some light commercial work, we do cabinet refinishing, staircase, fine finishes, stuff like that. We don't do much in industrial work, and we don't do a lot in tract housing, tract work, that type of thing. So for painting, we have currently about 18 employees. We've been as big as 35 to 40, and then purposely cut out sales to scale back and shore up everything. So I have a fair amount of experience in painting. Number 5, what do I know about business? A lot of what I already discussed as far as painting goes relates to business. I've constantly been trying to improve my business, figure out how to take care of my employees, what motivates my employees, how to deal with customer service, what motivates my customers, how do I get customers to keep coming back. This has been a whole process and system for me that I've constantly been adjusting. And I don't mean, every other year, I mean constantly adjusting. We're at a point where a lot of our systems are pretty dialed in, but I have a couple things that I'm still adjusting. I'm still working at figuring out how to fine tune these little details to make it just a little more efficient. Efficiency is the most important thing to me. Stress is a close second. I'll take on some stress in order to figure out efficiency, but I want the efficiency to work so I have less stress, right? Those two things, I don't like running a project. I don't like running a business inefficiently. I don't like having the waste. Our sales got up to just under $3 million a couple years ago, but it was so inefficient, and we lost money that year. It was our biggest sales year. Anybody that we talked to was blown away. $3 million in residential work, residential repaints, is a lot of customers. Our average project was $5,300. Let's see, 566 projects over a 12-month period, 47 projects a month. That's 47 job scopes, 47 clients with different personalities, 47 sets of colors. This is just a massive undertaking. We're doing 11 or 12 projects a week all year long. And while you're dealing with the 47 that month that you're working on, you also have the next 47 coming next month and the 47 that you finished last month. You get touch-up jobs and stuff like that. It could steamroll you really quickly. And so during that phase, it was hard for us to keep up with the way that we were managing everything. It was just too much to deal with. We didn't have our infrastructure built strong enough. And, it didn't steamroll us, but it definitely created stress. The main stress was just because we didn't have efficiency. So in order to fix that, we scaled back, lowered our sales, purposely cut out projects, purposely scaled back. We stayed booked out longer, we took on less clients, and became profitable again. And so for the last 2 years, we've been just working on being as profitable as we can. This last year, 2020, obviously there were some changes outside of our control with COVID and all, but our sales stayed about the same as 2019. We had opportunity to spend money on marketing if we wanted to, and we chose not to. And we were highly profitable for the year. We could stay, that was like 1.7 million. We could stay at that mark forever, and I'll make a great living and have no stress in my life and just cruise. But that's not really my personality. I like a little bit of challenge. I don't really like stress just for the sake of it, but I'll take some on I operate fine under stress. It's just not good for you. And it's not good for me, and I can tell, the effects that it has on me. So this year, 2021, we will be building the business and making it bulletproof, and then we'll begin pushing for growth, spending a big marketing budget, going through our hiring process, getting that all refined, and our training processes, so that when we are ready to make a big push, I have no doubt that we can add on $1 million in a year in sales by spending money on marketing. It's just a matter of, can the business support that? Can the business handle it? Are we a strong enough business to be able to do that? So I say all this just to say my experience in business has been, we built a company that was a one-man show all the way up to 40 employees, back down to 20, and everything in between. So all the ups and downs that go with that, the hiring, the firing, the losing money, making money, setting up your accounting, your customer relations, the whole deal, all the ins and outs that go with that. It's a pretty wide range of business aspects that you have to deal with in order to make those changes and make that kind of growth. There are a lot of steps along the way where we made mistakes, had to go back and fix them, and then move forward. And so at this point, the most important things for us in business are streamlining our systems, making our processes really strong and consistent. Customer satisfaction is probably the highest priority. And then all of that makes us really profitable. We don't want to do it if we're not making a profit. We're not going to be profitable long term if we have unhappy customers. We're not going to be profitable in the short term if we're inefficient. So we'll take deeper dives in other episodes kind of on each of these topics because they require a lot of attention. But I just wanted to kind of give an intro on who I am, what we're doing, what the point of this is, and then moving forward, we'll be doing these little 15-minute podcasts for the most part. That way we can get information out there in bite-sized chunks. You can re-listen if you want to. We'll get better about how we deliver the message, how efficient we are with our delivery. This will be an ongoing, ever-changing thing. And who knows, I might do it 5 times and be over it. But it will probably help some people, and it's fun to do, and we may just keep it rolling, and see what happens. Ideally, we sprinkle in some episodes where we might do interviews with other businesses, painting companies most specifically, and discuss the issues. The majority of painting companies in the United States are 2-man or 1.5 men to the company. So it's a lot of companies that are not growing. A lot of them say that it's by choice. They don't want to grow big. They don't want to lose quality. They don't want to hire people. There's nobody good to hire. There are some reasons for staying small, and then there are some that are just excuses. I think the staying small in order to keep your quality really high is nice, and it's great. And you can keep doing that as long as you can until you have to stop working, as you get older. And then you go on Social Security, and that's your life, right? And there are some companies who just use the excuse, maybe because of fear, maybe because of lack of knowledge, that you can't grow because you can't find good people. And we'll do a deep dive on that. That's something I don't know if I'm passionate about it, but it gets me going when people have that excuse to not grow. But thanks for listening so far, and we'll dive deeper into these topics on other episodes. And please give feedback. I like constructive criticism, but I like just criticism as well. So I know how to weed out the difference of what's valuable to me and what's not. So have at it. Let us know what you think.